Welcome to the Morgan Homestead. Today is Sunday, May 16th, and I just wanted to bring you up to date on a couple of things here on the homestead. One of the things I've had in the last couple videos is we have a Broody Hen, and we were not sure, what to do about her and how to, how many eggs she was sitting on and what was going to happen with those. And I was out of town for a couple days dealing with some family things and spending some time with our kids and doing some shopping. And Kevin told me that he went out to check on Louise and she was off of the nest and she was up in the run. And so he went and checked on the eggs and found that one of them had hatched and passed away and was under, like on a pile of eggs. So, and he counted there was 24 eggs in the pile. So he made the decision to take them all out. It smelled really bad, clean it all out, and put some fresh bedding in there for her. And she has been kind of freaking out. Again, this is our first batch. So some of the eggs he believes were fertile, but weren't really developing. So he made the decision just to put them all, to get rid of all the eggs. And now she's starting to sit on a couple more. So how long does this whole broody cycle go? And should we handle this round differently? Like take her off of the eggs and check them and candle them at night or something to see. I guess I'm not sure. So any help you can give us in the comments, that would be great. I'm filming this in the camper because when I go outside, my glasses turn dark. They're transitional lenses, and I know a lot of people don't like it when people talk to them with dark sunglasses on, but I don't have a choice. So I'm going to go out and show you some of the other things we've gotten done around here in the last couple weeks. So we've been kind of busy, haven't been doing a lot of filming, but this is like our first full year that we're going to be homesteading. So we're still trying to figure so much out. And I know we want you guys to come along for the ride. So those of you that are new at this, like us, can learn from our mistakes. And we're definitely going to show you those and talk about those. But anyway, I'll show you what we've been doing. So we're prepping our large garden to get it ready to plant. We brought in 10 yards of dirt and Kevin has tilled it up a couple times. We've had a couple rains, so this should be ready to go soon. I'm going to turn this around. So here's the garden and this should be ready to go. There's 2 stakes in the middle on the right over there. He planted some potatoes in there yesterday. So that is done anyway. Here's my lovely chicks. We put some saddle covers on them because they were losing feathers from our aggressive, well, he's not an aggressive rooster. He's a really cool, mild-mannered rooster. This is Fuzzy Foot. But he was loving up on these girls a little too rough and they were losing feathers. So we decided to get some, I don't know what you call them, hen saddle covers, whatever, for them and to protect them. So that's what those are. So in the next couple weeks, we hope to get this garden planted. That's one thing we're focusing on. Kevin is over yonder cutting trees and clearing the area, getting ready for where our septic system will go. Our house will be, our log cabin home will be in this area right in front here, but our septic will be over more towards the other property line over there. And he's clearing some trees so that they can put that in over there. Kevin has a ton of logs here that he is going to turn into lumber for our log cabin build. So that is another project he's going to be working on. Kevin and I have been working on cutting and stacking lumber. So you see all those pallets of trim that he does not use for logs. he's been splitting and stacking. So that's another thing we've been doing. So we had a ton of gravel brought in, and Kevin constructed and put together this garage storage shed. So that's another big project that we've been working on. This is to store the tractor and the Commander and things like that. So he worked hard on that. Pulling away trees.
Hi everyone. So as Sandy was saying, I'm over here cutting down some trees to make room for the guys to come in and put our septic system in. Just wanted to show you a little trick that I use to move brush out when I have to move the brush to some other location. So what I do is I lay out a chain. One end of the chain has this hook that you can hook around a chain to cinch it. And then the other end has a hook that is a bigger hook, so that when you hook it around the chain, it will slide. So then when you so what I do is I lay this brush out on top of the chain, and then I'll run this over the top, run it around the chain on the other side, and then hook that onto the vehicle, in my case my Commander. And then what happens is, as you pull, this guy will slip on the chain and cinch it up around the bundle so that it pulls it nice and tight, and you can take it wherever you go. It works really nice. So here's what I'm talking about. Take this chain and pull it back over the top of the bundle, and you run the other side through it like that. And then as you pull, this will slide and cinch the bundle up so it makes it nice and tight to pull. Then on the other end, this hook here, you can just hook that right around the chain like that, and then it stays on your vehicle.
Okay, I'm over at the greenhouse now, and I have planted the whole row on the one side of peppers. We planted this whole inside raised bed with carrots and radishes. We started to fill up all the totes along this side with the nutrients. And Kevin is working on creating like an auto fill system in some of these as a test, so that when the nutrients get too low, it will automatically fill from a bucket or a system that will be outside the greenhouse. So he's working on that. I am going to work on filling up the rest of the totes all the way and getting the rest of my peppers over there into those totes. I'm going to do that today. As you can see, it's good and toasty in here. I need to open it up a little bit, so I opened this door. I'm going to open the door on this side and get some air in here.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Morgan Homestead. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Sandy. Today we're going to give you some updates. It's May 22nd, and it's kind of humid but cloudy today here in Minnesota. It's been a couple weeks since we got our meat chicks, so we're going to show you what those look like. We have an update on our hen, Louise, who's been broody. She was sitting on how many eggs previously?
24.
24 eggs. So Kevin he saw her off of the nest, or the eggs, and so he went in there and cleaned them out because one had hatched and perish. So
And stunk pretty bad.
yeah. So he cleaned out the nesting box and she started all over again.
Yeah. So she's sitting on 16 more eggs. We're going to try to go in at some point and reduce some of those. We're going to candle some of them and keep some of them that are further along than the rest, because I just think that's just too many eggs.
It is. And so I don't know if those of you that are seasoned at this, do you separate her? We wanted to keep it as natural as possible, but
the other chickens seem to be going into that nesting box, laying the eggs in there, and then she kind of pulls them underneath her. So she keeps accumulating more and more eggs.
yeah, so how do you stop this cycle, and how long will she stay broody? Those are questions that we have. If anyone has any suggestions, tips, or tricks, please leave it in the comments. But we'll take you over and show you Louise now. Oh, there's 2 of them in there. 2 for the price of 1. Oh, so, 3. Actually, we've got 3 hens in the nesting box.
Raven over there. But see, this is what we're talking about. These Americanas and stuff will go in the nesting box with Louise, lay an egg, and then she pulls it underneath her.
And then there's just more and more.
So
and then,
this one is Louise. Here, the Broody Buff Orpington, and this is Greta.
An Americana.
Americana.
And then over here we have
Raven,
whose head looks really red and raw, Kev.
Yeah, it's just the way it is now. Since she had that abscess on her head.
Oh. So anyway, not sure what to do with this whole cycle here. Okay, a quick update on my sweet potato slips that we are attempting to grow here. They're finally shooting up some decent sized slips. I put these in the water, I believe it was beginning of March 11th. If any of you started slips, let me know if yours are doing better than this. I don't know why it's taken this long, but today is May 22nd and I'm finally getting some good slips off of these. So we are going to pinch a few of these larger ones off and get them in water so that they can start to root. Okay, so this is a good size slip. So the instructions that I've read, and again, I've never done this before, is to just take and pull it from, like, snip it off. They say you want a little heel. So you're not supposed to cut it. You're just supposed to pull it down off of there and then put it in water. And then these will grow roots. So I think we have one more over here we're going to pull. I think you just simply pull, try to leave a little bit of that, I guess, on there. Put it in water. Whoops. Put it in water, and then these will grow roots. Now, those are the only 2 right now that I think are long enough. They say they need to be about 5 or 6 inches. In the last video, we showed you our cute little fuzzy yellow meat chickens that we got, and my vegetarian daughters were like, "What are meat chickens?"
Yeah, what do you mean meat chickens?
So we're like, meat chickens, Jess. So anyway, you saw them teeny little yellow fuzzy cute little chicks. It's only been 2 weeks and look at them now. Okay, so look at how big they are. They're really feathered out. They still are a little bit yellow on the tops of their heads, but they're mostly turning white. But they are huge and they are crazy birds. I mean, they're just vicious, stomping all over each other to get the food. And what else have you noticed, Kev?
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, they're not the smartest bird in the world. I mean, you put 3 feeders in there and they all go to 1 and stomping over each other to get to it.
Yeah, so hopefully we will be able to get them out on pasture now in about a week, hopefully, right, Kev?
Yeah, another week. We'll see how the weather is and everything, but they should be ready. Actually, it'll be a week on Thursday, this coming Thursday, so about 5 days.
So yeah, he's got 2 of these chicken tractors, so we will be splitting up the chickens half and half in each and getting them out onto the grass.
Yes. Yeah, so it'll be 3 weeks total since we got them, and that's about the time that you can start putting them out on pasture if they're got enough feathers and acclimated to the weather. So that's the plan.
Yeah, so unbelievable. Now we'll show you our other little chicks that we got. Okay, so we just got one more to add to our egg laying chicks. So this one with the yellow spot on the head right there is a barred rock. And we just got her 3 days ago. So we need a name for her. If anyone could please put that in the comments, email us, anything. So, but look at how big already the other ones, they're 10 days old. The other 4 chicks are 10 days old. And these 2 light ones in front are prairie bluebell eggers, and then the 2 dark ones are copper maran, right? Black copper marans. So I just snuggled with them a little bit today. We're trying to get them used to us, but they're still very skittish. But we have names for one of them. My father-in-law named one Little Peep. So the little prairie bluebell egger, the smaller one, is Little Peep. So I need a name for the other one.
So we're only going to do 3 totes this year because we didn't want to go all in on this if it doesn't work. So we're going to just do it on 3 totes this year and see how it goes. If it's successful, then we'll next year we'll add it to all of the totes. It'll make it a lot easier once the water level drops. Otherwise, before we were having to lift the lids up and take a 5-gallon bucket and pour it in there. When the plants start getting more mature, it's harder to do. So one thing we did this year is we got some onion bulbs we planted in this raised bed outside. We ended up with 252 onions. First 4 rows, which is 48 onions, is white onions. Next 4 rows, which is another 48, is red onions. And then all the rest of these are going to be yellow onions, and I think it's like 172 yellow onions.
So they've only been in here about 10 days, and look at how great they're doing. I mean, they're growing really well. They're strong. They're getting tall. I mean, I don't know. We're comparing that to over here in this raised bed. A lot of these we started on as seed, and they are growing. They just don't look as sturdy and strong, and they don't seem to be growing as fast. But we're just wondering for the price of the bulbs. I mean, what was the price, Kev?
I think we paid $15 for all those bulbs.
Yeah, so I mean, we're trying to determine whether it's worth it for us to try starting onions from seed, or if we should just go with bulbs because it's cheap and they're doing so well. So I don't know if anyone has any opinions, thoughts, comments. What has your experience been with bulbs versus seeds?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like the bulbs are going to be a much better thing for us. Like we were saying, they seem to be growing better. I think we're going to get a bigger crop.
So Kevin is working on getting the weed fabric down on the garden. So he's rolling it off in strips, and then he burns it off, and then he'll put stakes in. These are my free-ranging chicks. Just kind of bopping around. We got that handsome rooster keeping an eye out on all of his girls. But they're loving it. He's keeping an eye on me too, it seems like. But he's a good rooster. Fuzzy foot. guys gonna go help with the garden? Not gonna be able to dig it up anymore now, huh? Yeah, you guys aren't gonna be able to dig up the garden. You guys look cute in your little dresses. Girls, I should say. Fuzzy is an impressive looking rooster, isn't he? He's so mild-mannered too, so we just love him. Speckled Sussex are just sweet, sweet hens. They're the ones that get the closest to you. Hi, Salt. Are you gonna say? Are you gonna say something?
No.
Come on. I did a clean out of the
nest.
what is it called?
The nesting box?
Nesting box, okay.
I gotta turn this around. How do I do that? How come it's not showing the... Oh, do I have to...